Thank you. That's good. So part A. So this is going to be a little bit about just taking a bit of a temperature. We've set the scene. You've heard the business case. You've heard the Premier and Minister Close discuss some really important aspects of this. So quick temperature check across the room. If you haven't logged on, which I think you have, do so right now. Are you surprised that gender balanced teams do better in terms of innovation and performance? So can we bring up our poll everywhere? Oh, it's just so think about that and make sure you've got everything going. Is everyone on? Anyone not on? This is fantastic. No one, or else you're not prepared.
We are in the new economy. It's exciting and scary.
It's gone again. Oh, how are we going? We had it up before. So you can, while you're answering that, you can talk amongst yourselves and share your thoughts about that. I was surprised when I first started looking at the numbers. Roden wasn't. He said he knew all the time. All right. Here it goes. It's thinking.
Folks, we have gone live. So
wow,
get ready.
We're live. Okay. So this is really interesting.
This is the question. So here's the question.
There's a competition going on here between the yeses and the nos. That's fantastic that we've got so many people on. Well done. And while you're chatting there, you can talk a little bit about what it was that surprised you about that as well. It's good. How are we going? 5. Is that where we're at? Yeah? All right, that's given us a pretty good idea. Should we move on?
Yeah,
do you think?
keep moving.
All righty. So this kind of assumes that we all believe the data, and I have to say, having gone through it, I'm kind of pretty convinced now. So poll question 2, there's a direct connection between gender diverse leadership teams and organisational success. Do you agree or do you disagree? That screen's not going to be long enough.
No, we're maxing out here. This is really great.
If you're unsure, that's good. Yeah, it's absolutely fine to either. It's actually fine to disagree if you don't agree. And then while you're kind of discussing that, you can have a bit of a discuss about what aspects you think it might actually help support. That's good. All right. So the next, we've got everybody up. That's pretty good.
How's everyone going? Does anybody need another moment?
Do you need more time?
Is everyone?
It's full.
Oh, it's great.
Well,
okay.
That's
we're moving on. I'm old economy.
All right. Now here's the catch. All right. Here's the next. So this is going to tell us a bit about where we're at. Poll question 3, is gender diversity a priority in your organisation?
This is the big one. We've had the warm-up. Now we're cutting to the chase.
You're not sure, that's very telling as well. Wow.
Narelle. Come here, give me your phone.
How did you got mine?
You, come over here. Just.
All right. There you go. All righty. Sorry, I'm just doing a photo op while we're here. That's all right. I'll get it later. No worries. Thank you. All right. So, so what do we got here? We've got a kind of... Do you need another minute? You happy? All right. Just sing out if you do. So we looked at some research from McKinsey and Co, which actually asked these questions. And they came up, they asked chief executives, so it was from a variety of different organisations, some government and so forth. They came up with 72% saw a connection between gender diversity and performance, and 28% had it as a priority. So Uma, does that surprise you, that gap? Okay. We appear not to have such a gap, do we think? We've still got a way to go. But, yeah, well, so all right. So that tells a little bit. And there's another piece of research from Korn Ferry which actually looked at where the diversity aspect of the organisation was held, and 69% of those organisations had it in HR rather than actually being driven as a leader from right through the organisation. So that tells us something as well. All right. So that tells us a bit. That knowing, doing gap. Yeah. Does anyone have any observations about that you'd like to contribute? Thoughts? Yes.
I'm really pleased that people are actually brave enough to say that it's not a priority and they're recognising it.
Yep.
I think that's recognising.
Recognising it is a really important step. So, yeah, thanks very much. Anybody else? That's good.
Down here.
Yeah, you've got something to say? Just there? Yes.
Just going to say, a few years back I went to some training to do with gender policy, and when a couple of people from our agency went, when we got back to work, nobody wanted to know about it. And we were talking, saying something here that maybe the gender stuff gets stuck in HR. No, I'm not HR. That was really sad.
Yeah, well, when you think it's part of economic growth, you know, it seems like, why would we do that?
And I think that's a really important point. I haven't read it yet, but the latest issue of Harvard Business Review, the end of HR department. Oh, good. Step ahead. And see, South Australians are always a step ahead of people coming from Sydney. You're so tied into all the latest thinking. It's fabulous. I think that's important because it's about saying it needs to be part of the DNA, the actual tissue and fabric of the organisation itself, and of the very teams that go to make them up as well.
And that, I guess, in terms from that perspective, sending people who are and making sure it's elevated, the priority of it is elevated. It's actually really important. And
yeah, we should go to the next question, I think.
if you insist. So the next question being, this is going to talk a little bit about some of the barriers to it. What are the main barriers preventing you from acting on this exciting information? The knowledge that it improves success.
This question just requires you to sort of just type in some comments.
Text.
Just free text in. These are your comments. They're really important because we want to capture your thinking. So you've got the temperature about what you're thinking about some of the issues, and now we need your knowledge, your information and your thoughts, because it's your thoughts that's going to inform the things that we also write about and that will also go back into the system. So please just take a moment, take your time, and just write those things that you believe are barriers from acting on this information.
No, I don't love them. Oh, you can't. Do you want to use mine? Would you like to write it down so you can contribute? We'd really appreciate that, yeah? So we have the time and the buy-in. That's a really, really important point. Workload, yes.
Executive appetite for that.
That's a good
Commissioner?
way to put it. True commitment. There are no barriers. There are really no barriers.
And this is an important one. It was great to hear what the Premier said about command and control leadership. To have the head of the state talk about this in such a powerful way is so refreshing compared to some of the other premiers and leaders federally and in other state governments. It's fantastic.
great just to get the different perspectives coming up on the screen. Irma, you and Anne, do you any observations on these?
I think there's probably two perspectives. One is there are leaders in here, and some are saying that there are no barriers. That means that those people are prepared to do something about it, whereas others might be less empowered.
Yeah.
I think it also reflects, comments reflect gender imbalance or not at the top. Bit of that theme coming through at leadership levels.
Assumptions that were already there. That's a really important observation. When I first started discussing this issue at the Financial Review, one of my colleagues who wrote the back page column, when I'd done the numbers, and I said, we're going backwards on gender and it's really important. And he said, oh, no, we dealt with that. And then so I got him to look at the numbers, and then he just went, oh my God, I didn't know. And so he then started to, he was looking at diversity as our capacity to engage with Asia as well.
Can I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I
Just contribute. Yeah.
I'm actually seeing a few comments there about time and, we're too busy and the rest of it. And I think that's...
Quiet, please. Quiet, please, while we have some feedback here. Thanks.
We're kind of... It's almost... Go the Crows. Look, as a power supporter, I'm just going to comment on that one. The bit about time, too busy and the rest of it, that we need to unpack, because, in fact, would that not make us more effective? And what does it mean? What do we actually have to do to give extra time? So it's almost like the current paradigm we accept, and it's too hard, and we haven't got enough time to fit anything different or diverse into a new paradigm.
I'm so busy trying to just do what I've got to do every day. How do I have to get my head around something else is quite common. So
There were also some earlier comments, not the most recent ones, but about caring responsibilities and the stereotypical role that fits with women and the impact on the workplace as a result of that.
Narelle, did you want to make a comment about unconscious bias?
it's something now that we tiptoe around a little bit, and we don't want to be biased. We all know I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I don't. But these little mental shortcuts we've got in our heads, actually, we've all got them. So Iris Bonnet, who's a behavioural economist who's studied this area, just said, look, we're all biased, get used to it. Let's just start to bring up the mental shortcuts and assumptions to become aware of that. It actually gives us more power to design organisations that actually factor in that. And that goes, what's that story about the boy driving? There was a car accident, the parent was killed, the child goes to the hospital, the surgeon says, I can't operate on this child, it's my son. And everyone goes, like, how was that? You know, he was in the car with his dad, and it turned out to be his mother. So there's some things like that. And Iris actually had dropped her child off at preschool, and she saw the kindergarten teacher was a bloke. And this is 10 years ago, and Iris she said, I had this physical reaction. I didn't know if I could trust him. But thankfully she got around that, and they're great friends, and her child survived. And it's just these little things are really great examples. Assumptions that we all make about other people without actually having the knowledge, and the map's not the terrain, as we know. All right. So we'll come back to that. Yes.
Yeah. We're just going a bit ahead of ourselves. We're expecting just another question to come up, but maybe we'll do this question, then we'll wait for the discussion.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right.
Then we'll go back one. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We're just the technology here is driving us, which is a bit freaky. You know, the age of the machines.
Now, so just on that, we'll deal with this question now. So this is, we've listed a whole lot of issues. If you think there's one that you think is most important, please put that one in. If on your table, we'd like you just to perhaps write down, well, let's write down 3 that you can think of as well, and we'll take that with us. So if your table hosts can help you with that.
Yeah.
Because we won't be able to capture this exactly in this particular frame. But that's telling us quite a bit already, isn't it? About the main organisational barriers preventing your team or unit from advancing gender diversity.
So
Fascinating.
Doing well.
It's really, really interesting.
So what we need, we now need to move backwards. That's next. I'm going to check because that question needs to be. Just, no. We also had the table discussions. But, they were the questions I sent through. We forgot to fix.
You're up.
We have to do it verbally.
Okay. So that's full. So that's telling us quite a bit. Yeah?
Yeah. They're having a great discussion.
That's fine.
Think about this one. When you step outside from the restaurants,
Yeah.
the ladies is called Pavlov.
I saw that this morning. Language is really important. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that. Hello, are you departing? Hello?
I'm going to return.
Hey.
There we go. Yes, yes, I'm having lots to say.
Good.
Too much, probably.
Are we capturing some of that?
Yeah.
Want to come to those down?
Yep, yep.
You've got a lot to write. Go, do it. Long as we'll write it down. Give it to us. We need your feedback.
All right.
How's it going? What are the impediments?
I hate to interrupt this. We're having such a good conversation. I'm reluctant to draw it in. But if I could just have your focus for a minute, please. I think we're going to have to give a prize for the most engaged table today. All right, if I can have your attention, please. We've been really, this is a really interesting chart. It's telling us there's some really important areas that we've got to delve into more. I'd love to get, just before we break for morning tea, some quick feedback. Now, I heard some really interesting things. One was about just some basic stuff. Now, that gentleman there, that table, yes, you mentioned something about people talking about we're so focused on the outcomes, I just overheard it. So I thought I'd volunteer you to give us a brief bit of feedback. Thanks. If you wouldn't mind just saying your name, if someone could grab a microphone and get to you briefly. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Emma. Great. Just a little brief insight into that aspect of it. It's really, really good.
We were talking about a variety of things, and we were looking at what's up on the chart there.
Yep.
And I was suggesting that I'll call it lack of. The word I was talking about was clarity. What is the organisation's position on this? Have we documented it, clarified it, so everyone's on the same page? And I was relating it to any business where you go back, what are we all about? And the values, the aim, the goal, the mission is all documented and it's clear and everyone's all on the same page. Whereas with some of these things, the clarity's not there, and I think greater clarity would be valuable.
Thank you. Someone mentioned there was a couple of bits of feedback, quite important. Having core hours for meetings, key meetings. Would somebody want to just mention that so that I understand it correctly? Down over here. Thanks. Faster than a speeding bullet.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Road in general. I think it's these structural kind of things, and they become in behavioural things. It's kind of interesting. It's the people behind the pillar. I know you're there. Please say your name, and you could describe yourself as well, but we'll just, thank you.
Yes. Oh, crikey. So we were actually describing that people perceive that if you are leaving the workplace because you've made a commitment to your family, there's yes, you can do that, but inside people are thinking other things. And it's not just males, it's also females in the workplace who hold back real genuine diversity and flexibility of the workplace. And those are the basic fundamentals of being able to be a full person in the workplace, is that you know that you're accepted and balance that you're choosing inside and outside the workplace. That sum it up, team?
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
They had that at Goldman Sachs, where they had the trading floor, and the women would come in early and get their work done, and they'd leave at 3:30 and they'd get catcalled. Like, this only happened up till a couple of years ago when they realised, for leaving early. So it kind of doesn't send a signal about bringing your whole self to work, does it?
No, but if we're going to get through the next session, we're going to need a coffee break.
Yes.
So great discussion. Yep. So please have a look at your watches. Yep. Please get back here in 20 minutes.
And I've got your feedback to join in.
We've got a lot of work to get through.
While you're leaving,
thank you.
You can also notice the language. For anyone using the ladies, it's called the powder room. I hope you've got your gunpowder with you. So our language is really important. I just wanted to share that. I don't know, what's the men's called? The whiskey room or something? So we'll see you back here. What time are we back?
At 11:05 sharp.
We're back at 11:05 sharp to start. Thank you very much.